Coming up on Mountain News this morning, funding cuts earlier this year are impacting addiction recovery centers across the state. And the Kentucky State Capitol will officially close today, marking the start of a new construction project.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this August 20th at 6 o'clock this morning. And time to check in on our weather with Megan Dusmal. Still hot outside, Megan. Hoping for hope.
Yeah, I can give you some hope, just not today, unfortunately. It's still going to be another one of those hot days ahead. Now, the good news is we do have those cooler temperatures as we round out the week and go into your next work week. But here's what we're seeing this morning. Mainly temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. Not looking too bad on our cameras in Hazard, Pikeville, and London. Seeing lack of clouds for the most part. And temperatures will be warming up into the upper 80s heading into the afternoon. We're just looking at some chances of rain this morning. However, the main chance we're looking for some scattered showers and storms will be in this afternoon and in the evening hours. All in all, it will be a hot day with those chances of rain. Hottest temperatures will be around that 3 o'clock time frame. Amelia.
The person responsible for shooting and injuring 2 people on a Kentucky college campus is still on the run. The shooting happened early Sunday morning at Kentucky State University in Frankfort. University leaders say they're taking extra steps and heightening security to keep their students safe. In Knox County, a Corbin man is behind bars after deputies responded to a domestic disturbance. Deputies say 40-year-old Chad Posey refused to identify himself and became aggressive with Deputy Thomas Martin. After a brief struggle, Posey was arrested. He's charged with menacing and resisting arrest and was also wanted on multiple bench warrants in both Knox and Laurel counties. Posey was taken to the Knox County Detention Center. A drug trafficking investigation led authorities to a home where they not only found drugs, but also a torture chamber. Laurel County deputies searched the home of Scotty Shelton last week. After smelling a strong odor similar to a decaying body, they found a rotting deer carcass and multiple other animal caps and skulls. They also found a room resembling a torture chamber with handcuffs, rope, and other devices. After his arrest, Shelton told investigators that he had recently recovered drugs that he'd buried in his garage years ago. Investigators then recovered about 6,000 oxycodone-like pills and 1,200 grams of meth. He's charged with possession with intent to sell. With Hurricane Erin making its way through the Atlantic, communities along the East Coast are preparing for harsh waves, high water, and potentially deadly rip currents. The storm is forecasted to pass well offshore, but visitors to the Outer Banks have begun evacuating, with the potential for high water to wash over the only road out.
Going to create some very dangerous ocean conditions along the entire U.S. East Coast and the potential for life-threatening storm surge inundation across portions of the North Carolina Outer Banks.
We have plenty of supplies, and not our first rodeo. Definitely prepared.
Several beaches in New York and New Jersey are closed to swimming through Thursday. Well, we're hearing from a UK law professor who created a website opposing Israel's existence. The university says it reassigned Professor Ramsey Woodcock after learning about the website. But the professor says his free speech rights have been violated and he wants to return to teaching. Maggie Rickerby has the story.
Here's the website, the Anti-Zionist Legal Studies Movement. It claims Israel is a colony founded through the genocide of native Palestinians. It also includes a petition for military action against Israel. This site was created by UK law professor Ramsey Woodcock.
Once we understand that Israel is a colonization project that practices apartheid and is committing genocide, we need to start thinking as law scholars, whose business it is to study justice as well as law, how it is that we can bring about a resolution.
The university caught wind of Professor Woodcock's off-campus activities and decided to reassign him. Woodcock says he's not allowed inside the College of Law while the university investigates. UK sent us a statement saying they recognize Woodcock is free to express those views in his personal capacity. but they condemn any call for violence and consider his remarks to be hate. The tenured professor believes he's protected by free speech.
As far as I know, I'm the only tenured professor at a state school who has been subject to this kind of punishment, retaliation for his speech.
He has support from the national group called FIRE, Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression.
Faculty members under the First Amendment have the broad expressive right to comment on matters of public concern outside the classroom.
Woodcock says he's not anti-Semitic.
I'm opposed to the existence of Israel. That is not the same thing as being opposed to the existence of Jewish people.
And believes things would be different if his views were different. In Lexington, alongside photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw, Maggie Rickerby, WKYT.
We did reach out to the Jewish Federation of the Bluegrass. They wouldn't go on camera, but said they support the university's statement and they want to make sure students feel safe on campus and do everything to support the students. Well, Kentucky's been officially assigned a new area code. The 761 prefix will start being doled out when the 502 area code runs out, likely in mid-2027. Everyone who currently has a 502 number will keep it. The Public Service Commission held a series of public meetings to get input and host discussions. The North American Numbering Plan estimates that North Central Kentucky will never have enough phone numbers for at least 30 years. The real impact is that the 502 and 761 area codes will have mandatory 10-digit dialing. Well, a groundbreaking ceremony was hosted yesterday afternoon for a new retail development in Hazard. A portion of the Black Gold Plaza shopping center was recently torn down. New stores going in will include Hobby Lobby, TJ Maxx, Five Below, and Dollar Tree. Construction is already underway and is expected to be finished by next summer. A special guest at the groundbreaking was 105-year-old Roy Drinkard, the CEO of Drinkard Development. He first started building shopping centers in Hazard in the 1980s. Well, President Donald Trump is drawing a red line when it comes to security guarantees for Ukraine, saying no American troops will be on the ground. This comes as the White House says there are developments in President Trump's efforts to set up a meeting between the leaders of Russia and Ukraine as part of the push to end the war. CBS News has confirmed Budapest is among the cities being considered for what could be a historic meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
I had a very successful meeting with President Putin. I had a very successful meeting with President Zelensky, and now I thought it would be better if they met without me.
The president wants to move, and he wants to bring this war to an end as quickly as possible.
Ukraine's President Zelensky says a strong Ukrainian military is the first line of defense when it comes to security guarantees. A White House official tells CBS News that European leaders hope to have concrete details for a plan in the next 10 days. Funding cuts earlier this year are impacting addiction recovery centers across the state, including the Isaiah House, Kentucky's largest nonprofit treatment provider. Leaders say the center has laid off nearly 10% of its staff after Medicaid and managed care organizers reduced funding. The cuts affected peer support services, which leaders say are crucial for long-term recovery.
MCOs have basically said that peer support is not important, and so they're no longer covering that.
Peer support will still be offered, but house hours are now capped. Isaiah House serves about 3,500 people every year. And the Kentucky State Capitol will officially close today. It marks the start of the construction phase for the $291 million Capitol renovation project. State leaders have already moved out of the Capitol to temporary offices, and legislative leaders have been told they may have to hold the next 3 legislative sessions in the House and Senate's temporary building.
We are still nice and clear here in eastern Kentucky, but we are watching some scattered showers this morning that could make its way into some of our western counties. Take a look as we're traveling more towards Danville. We do see that storm that has popped up. And then as you travel just outside of Wayne County, we are watching a little bit of some scattered showers that could make its way into the region, but it is looking like they are calming down over the past couple of minutes. Now, in terms of those temperatures, we're sitting in the upper 60s and low 70s. This afternoon, we'll be in the upper 80s with feels like temperatures in the low to mid 90s, since that humidity will be significantly higher for the day. Here's a look at what we're seeing over the next 12 hours. High temperatures will be in the early afternoon before the rain really starts to cool us down going overnight. Amelia.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:10. The Kentucky Geological Survey is currently working on a research project that could connect earthquake monitoring systems with tracking tornadoes.